As the Japanese markets get underway, let's take a look at the cryptocurrency market for today, 4/15/2018. Our first stop, obviously, is the big hitter, Bitcoin, which should be showing. I'm trying to get a little technical issue taken care of. Excuse me for a second. It's not. Things don't be shown properly. There it is. Okay. There does seem some kind of lag between what's being displayed on my screen and what's being displayed on your screen, and I'll try to kind of compensate for that. So let's go back to where we were, back to Bitcoin, and you can see it is sitting at 83.3470. Sorry. Or up 3.74% for the last 24 hours. Okay, now the chart seems to be catching up. Let's go ahead and go to the 7-day period. I'm going to actually go, instead of just 7 days, we're going to go back to if we can get there. This is obviously, I'm not sure exactly what the technical issue is here, but you're looking at a chart that says 828 to 815. The yearly chart, and I'm looking at a chart for the last 9 days, and it's just not catching up. I don't know what the issue can be, but I'll go ahead and move forward anyway. What we're looking at is on April the 6th. There we are. And you'll see, I'm not going to be able to see exactly. Early morning on April the 6th, Bitcoin was sitting at $6,575 US. And today, we're sitting at better than 83.34, which is an increase of more than 26%, or roughly about 3% every day. So we have seen a definite change in the market sentiment, at least for this period of time. We had a pretty brutal first quarter in which Bitcoin lost a good percentage of its value. I should probably go for the last 3 months, but just see if I can get a 3-month chart going on here. Of course, it needs to catch up. But we will go back to 3 months. Yeah, once it does catch up. But if we look at the 3 months starting January 15th, we see that Bitcoin was at $13,369. Sorry again for the delay. It doesn't seem to be catching up. And sunk to a low sometime in early February, actually February the 6th, dropped down to 61.14. We've been an up and down for this period of time. I'm sorry, I'm just getting distracted by the fact that it does not want to catch up and not showing the video. It may not even be an issue, and when I see the video after it's been recorded, I'll let you know. But you see, the market has gyrated quite a bit in that period of time. From, again, 13,000 just on January 15th. That's 3 months period of time. We dropped in half, or roughly in half, and now have gained back at least a portion of it. Or, well, like I said, we were at 65.75, which was close to the lows we were in early February. We're off by about $500. And we are recently, even at around 60, like I said, 65.75. This map is not catching up. I'm going to go ahead and do this, folks, because I'm live and there's really nothing I can do about this. I want to record this, get it out there for you to digest, but doesn't seem to want to catch up. It's just sitting here. However, let's go back to when I was talking about Bitcoin. We've seen it go from 13,000 back down to 6,100 around. Sitting just 9 days ago at 66.75 and a 26% increase plus to where we are presently, 83.34, which has probably changed in the last couple of minutes since I've been talking to you. We're looking at 83.37, so still around the same area. Surprisingly enough, if we go back to the original page, Bitcoin over the last 7 days has been one of the slower performers in the top 10 of the cryptocurrency market. And we were looking at numbers as high as IOTA at 62.33% gain over a seven-day period. Let's see what is another one that's around. You're looking about several of them being at 30% plus. EOS at 39.31%, at 35.84%, Ethereum at 31.62%. The only other that's underperforming the rest of the top 10 is Litecoin, and they're at 10.96%, and Bitcoin at 17.88%. Now, does this mean we're beginning to see a divergence from Bitcoin? Possibly, possibly not. If we look at the Bitcoin dominance, which again, this is just not catching up, but we were as high as almost 45. We were like 0.07% short of, that was on 45.5 on March 29th, so that's a little farther back than I want to go. This 14.8 was yesterday. If we go back just maybe a week to the 8th, I'm trying to adjust to this. Well, it's going to show me the 7th. We go 8 days back to the 7th, we're at 45.16%, and now we're only at 42%. And for those of you who don't understand what the dominance is how much of the market is filled by Bitcoin as opposed to the rest of the cryptocurrency market. So if we take the market cap, which is currently at $337 billion plus, 42% of that is Bitcoin all by itself. The rest of the market, the rest of the cryptocurrency market represents the other 58% of the market. That's how much dominance Bitcoin has over the rest of the market. And again, this thing just does not want to catch up. So what you're seeing is not what I'm looking at. Now let's go through the rest of the market. And I've already mentioned some of the other players. I did mention that Litecoin is one of the other underperformers of the last 7 days at 10.92%. The fact that IOTA is now 63.14%. With a market cap, a circulating volume of 2.7 billion plus coins, and a price at just $1.68, which is fairly high for something with that large a circulating supply. Not as one of the highest, but it is definitely up there. We're looking at some of the other major players. Ethereum, as I said, 31.83%. sitting at 533.91. Ripple at 36.01% over the last 7 days. It's sitting at 68.3 cents US. Bitcoin Cash actually is beginning to emulate, getting very much closer to where Bitcoin earlier in the day it was farther up. It was a greater percentage. It was, I think it was closer to, I don't want to speculate. I'm not going to say what it is. Remember it being closer to over 20%. But now it's at 18.35%. EOS, oddly enough, is is an outlier, at least in the last 24 to 1 hour, 24 hours, because it's down 0.11% and down 0.07% for 24 hours. The 0.11 being 1 hour. Cardano sitting at 22.2 cents, up 39.76%. Stellar sitting at 29.09%, sitting at 40.09% for the last 7 days ahead. IOTA, which kind of has switched. IOTA has been switching back and forth with NEO recently. It's sitting, like I said, this is the big gainer for the week, IOTA. So if you haven't looked into IOTA, you might consider looking into it, just seeing. Again, I'm not giving any market advice right here, and I should have said that at the beginning. I'll probably put a preface to it sometime when the video gets posted. This is not market advice. Rather, this is not investment advice. This is just market information, and I'm just basically showing facts. Here it is. For the last 7 days, IOTA's been up 63.14%. And to round out the top 10, it's NEO, and they're up 37.88%, sitting at $70.42 US. Now, before I wrap up for this session or for this video, as you can see, and you can't see because it's not showing up on the video, and I hope that I can get somewhere to get this fixed, because it's been stuck on the third or fourth screen that I got to, and I've been through multiple screens so far, and doesn't want to fix. But that aside, we're seeing something different here. Okay. Something that may be a change in the market. Obviously, Bitcoin being up over the last 9 days, it was over 26%, is a big deal. Are we sitting at the beginning of a Bitcoin rally? I mean, this is an important question you need to ask yourself, especially if you're still not in the market. If you haven't gotten back into the market, if you sold off, let's say that you got in at 10,000 or even 13,000 beginning of January, and you saw it go down and down and down, and maybe you got out at the low point. You finally said, good gosh, it's dropped below 7,000. I need to get out. And you did. And maybe you were lucky enough to buy back in before this little 9-day period of time. Probably still looking in the red if you bought in at 6,500 or 6,000, which some people did. Go back historically, which I can't show you the darn chart, that I want to say it was November when it was sitting at 6,000. And then it vaulted in like maybe a 3-week period. Again, I'm just roughly going through this because I'm trying to do this from memory. It went from 6,000 to 10,000. I think that happened in less than a month. And then went from 10,000 to around 20,000. And that happened in just over a month. And then we saw this hard crash back down to 65, or I think it was less than 6,200. And now we're beginning to see a bit of an increase. And the question you need to ask yourself, is this the real rally, or are we on another dead cat bounce? And if you've been following for the last couple of months or so, or last few months, you've noticed that it run to a rally. We got, at one time we were over 9,000, or I think it was 10,000, and it go back down. Then we got back up again, and then we ended up at that low 6,100, which only 9 days ago we almost tested those lows again, sitting at about 6,300. But the more important thing that we need to look at, and this is not saying this has never happened before, is the actions of some of these others in the top 10. And there's certainly others well past the top 10 that are moving radically in comparison to Bitcoin over the last 7 days. One outlier is Golem. I couldn't even tell anything about Golem just looking at this. It's the 51st right now on the crypto markets at Coin Market Cap. Coin Market Cap, and it's 107% up for the last 7 days. So there are definitely outliers. I'm not really gonna get into that. Dogecoin, for those who love Dogecoin, it's up 62%, almost 63% for the last 7 days. Another one that is the Waves Dex, which is supposed to be it's similar to Ethereum, that they distribute coins. We won't necessarily get into that. That's up 34%, which not quite twice. We go back up into the top, back into the top 10 again. The outliers, IOTA, it's up 63.87%, like I said earlier. Are we beginning to see a divergence? This is hard to say. Again, just 9-10 days ago, Bitcoin's dominance was 45%. It's dropped 3%. That may not be a huge amount, or maybe be the beginning of a divergence between the rest of the altcoins and Bitcoin. Can't say for sure right now, but you get the impression that people are itching to try to push, because I've seen you watch videos on YouTube, people are talking about how great Litecoin is. I'm not necessarily, obviously, being an underperform for the last 7 days compared to the rest of the top 10, excluding Bitcoin and excluding Bitcoin Cash. Even it is, well, they're still 8% above Litecoin. So it is, out of the top 10, the lowest performing in this possible rally. I want to clearly state this is a possible rally, because we can't be 100% sure whether this is a real rally. We've seen it before. This is the longest, don't get me wrong, it's the longest period of time in quite a while, in the last few months, since that 13,000, that we've seen this extended period of time that it's gone up. That's something that you need to keep in mind. Is it time? Is this the real rally? Again, I ask you that question. Is this the real rally, or are we looking at another consolidation, another consolidation towards, forget the word consolidation. Are we going to look at another drop? There's questions people have been asking, and several things before. I'll wrap up with these two things they asked. Okay, one of the big reasons that people have been speculating that we've been having this rally is because some big players are getting in to the crypto market. You gotta ask yourself this. One of them was, they said, was George Soros. And put the politics aside, he's big money. Now, if you're in his position, you have big money, are you going to telegraph the fact that you're getting into the market or not? Think about it logically. He's not going to want to telegraph this, because he telegraphs this, people are going to do exactly what they've been doing the last 9 days or so. Watching the price go up. More than likely, and this is speculation, I have a hypothesis, no evidence to prove this, he's already been in the market. Again, I'm just speculating. He's already in the market. He wants to see that price goes up because he wants profit. He didn't become a billionaire sitting on his investment. He wants to see it drive up so he can probably likely sell later down the road. So you're in his situation. Are you going to want to tell people beforehand that you're going to get in the market when you know, because you're a market mover, and yes, he is a market mover. Billionaires are market movers. Or are you going to slowly invest while it's low, when it was sitting to six, maybe even 7,000 or 6,500, or when it was 9,000 even, or the low 8,000s. Slowly get your position together so you're gaining a good amount of Bitcoin, and then tell people that you're going to get into the market so you can drive the price up, so you can take some profits off the table. Again, ask yourself, which one is the most likely scenario? He's telling people he's going to get in, or he's already gotten in and he's watching people react to his comment about getting in. And there was one other thing I want to talk about, which was, I already mentioned the possible divergence between the rest of the cryptocurrency market and Bitcoin. Why is Bitcoin only performing over the last 7 days 18.23%, while the rest of with the exception of Bitcoin Cash and Litecoin, mostly close to double the amount gains over Bitcoin? And ask yourself again, this is a short period of time. You could see these turn around and go the other direction. Even if Bitcoin continues going up, some of these could go down, because there's always different news to digest about what's going on with the market. And excuse me for being so long on this. I had no intention of getting this long. But going back to that, is this a divergence? You need to keep your eye on the markets. See how things play over the next few days. That was the other thing that I was going to mention. The other thing I was going to mention is the coming tax day, which is today is still Sunday here in the U.S. It's still Sunday in the U.S. It is, as I mentioned, Monday in Japan already. The market's already opened. Let me just take one last quick peek at the price. And we're at 83.70 now. So far, can't tell you exactly what it was. I think it was closer to 83.20 right when the Japanese markets opened. But I can't. Let me take one more peek. And again, forgive me for the fact that you're not seeing what I'm looking at, which is a bit irritating, but. Right at 1904 or 7:04 U.S. time. I didn't start into the video until later, but it was at 83.37. So we've seen a movement upwards since the opening of the Japanese markets. It's not particularly large. We're talking about less than 0.5%. You'll have to see what plays through the rest of the day for the Japanese market. Again, here in the U.S., it's still evening, and some people are getting ready to wind down for the day. It's already 7:45 here where I am. It's 8:45 in Eastern Standard Time Zone. No, not Eastern Time Zone. And so, watch the market. What I'm trying to say is just watch the market over the next few days. Some people are probably still waiting. Maybe they can just get just a few more dollars before writing that check, knowing that their Bitcoin is going to be that much higher before they write that check to the IRS. Now, another thing to keep in mind that people may not be thinking about, unless you have an instantaneous withdrawal from Bitcoin with your bank account, you probably already wrote the check. So you don't know. Tomorrow's Monday. maybe some people will be writing checks then, and maybe we'll see some action in the markets. Maybe not. Maybe it'll continue going forward. Maybe this is a rally. I'm with most of you. I'm with the holders, huddlers. Bitcoin going up is a good thing. That drives the rest of the market a lot up too. So your favorite coin, even if you don't hold Bitcoin, is getting seen an improvement. When Bitcoin goes up, the rest of the market goes up. When Bitcoin goes down, the rest of the market goes down. We all know that. So pay attention. That's the end comment I have. Pay attention to the market in the next few days. Make sure you're in a good position to buy a dip if there is one. If it's just a dip, be cautious. If it looks like more like it's a downtrend and we did hit a dead cat bounce, which is a rather large one, but then act accordingly. And again, I'd like to thank you for hanging in for the entire 25 minutes that I've been the whole time. It's only supposed to be a 10-minute video, but with technical difficulties and me wanting to get some points across, it ended up being a little longer. Hopefully the next ones will be a little bit shorter, but thank you for your time. And keep an eye on the markets, and I'll be back hopefully soon with another market rundown. Market rundown is probably not. Anyway, have a great evening. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, what little of it is left. If it's Monday for you, happy Monday, and we'll see you again another time. I don't understand. What happened that it didn't do what I needed it to do? It's in here. But if I go here, now it's moving. If I go here, not moving.